All right, boys, we're going to talk about YouTube first. We're going to talk about good old YouTube. That's right. So if you guys are not aware of what's happening with YouTube, I would probably be inclined to wonder what kind of a rock you live under. Because honestly, like the amount of people that are getting demonetized is insane. It is absolutely insane, but it's also kind of expected, right? So YouTube has this thing where they gaslight the hell out of you, and they really want you to believe that their entire platform is not run by bots. They really want you to believe that. It's actually kind of funny. It's ridiculous, realistically. But they want you to believe that this whole platform is not run by, moderated, and basically just at the beck and call of bots. Right? Your viewership is on the beck and call of bots. Your fucking your monetization is at the beck and call of bots. Whether or not you actually can even stay on the platform is at the beck and call of bots. All of it is bots, right? The whole freaking thing is ran by AI, but they don't want you to believe that. That's why they go above and beyond to have their AI try to talk like humans. But what they don't realize is their AI doesn't talk like humans. It's so obviously fake. So here's what's happening. YouTube is demonetizing a bunch of creators. And I mean like a metric fuck ton of creators. Okay. There are so many people out there that are getting demonetized for the supposed inauthentic content. That's a new thing now. That's a new thing. Inauthentic content is the new thing. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean a fucking thing, as you're about to find out. Okay. So I found this post from somebody called Darkness Prevails. All right. And I found this after realizing that Sidavir got demonetized, which apparently she got demonetized live. It happened live as she was streaming her totally authentic content. YouTube's like, hey, we actually think you're inauthentic, whatever the fuck that means. So she got demonetized live, and a bunch of other creators got demonetized live. I can't even tell you all the names. There's so many. Every day I go to my YouTube homepage, there's another person talking about being demonetized. Okay? So anyway, Darkness Prevails says, my YouTubers in Christ, they sent someone a letter for inauthentic content blaming too much game footage and pop-up transitions. This platform is toast for most. They're not going to walk this back without the people who are unaffected, large creators, saying something, which I agree, by the way. I 100% agree. So let's go over this email. I want to go over this email that YouTube has decided to send, and I want you guys to realize they did get Aiden Paladin, but then she got remonetized too. But anyway, we're going to get into that. I want you guys to realize this entire fucking response was written by AI. I would bet money on it. I swear to God, like they always say, "Oh, we had a expert review your stuff." No, you didn't. No, you fucking didn't. Anyway, so here's what's going on. They said, "Hi, Steven. I hear the frustration in your message, and I want to acknowledge the 10 years of work that you've dedicated to your channel." 10 years, guys. 10 years, and apparently, after 10 years, YouTube's like, "Yeah, now we're going to consider you to be inauthentic." 10 years, right? Decisions like this are never easy. Yeah, sure. It's easy when you're utilizing AI, especially when they impact your livelihood and a decade-long career on the platform. The pattern that our team refers to involve the high frequency of recurring third-party assets. Game footage. Brother, that's every single video game channel. Every single gaming channel uses gaming footage recurringly. Every single one. The fuck are you talking about? And here's the best part. Combined with a templated visual overlay, like consistent pop text styles and transitions. Guys, so basic editing, basic branding. Guys, my old videos, remember my old videos? I used to have like a visual template because it was just easy that way. It was branding, right? Very, very easy to set up everything and keep it all nice and neat. Apparently, branding is now demonetizable. Bro, every single YouTube video that's out there, even from YouTube creators themselves, tell you that consistency and branding is very important for YouTube videos. So you guys just going against whatever the fuck that you said before? What are we talking about? This is, guys, this is meant to be as vague as possible. Why? So that when it comes down to it, and there's an actual lawsuit, a class action lawsuit that happens from this, if it ever does, they keep it as vague as possible so that it can affect as many people as possible. That's really what it is to affect as many people as possible. And I'll give you my conspiracy at the end. Anyway, so this is what appears across the majority of your 500 plus videos. While these are common editing techniques, which they admit, when they form the primary visual experience of a channel, they can be flagged as repetitious under the current monetization standards. We don't provide a line item list of these patterns because they are inherent to the channel's overall format. So they don't tell you what you did wrong, but then they also tell you that what you're doing is common and very, very much practiced amongst many different YouTube channels. But apparently that's wrong now. Okay. While many creators use a 3-act structure or hooks, our reviewers evaluate whether the unique narrative and original visual contribution outweighs the reused elements. These evaluations are done on a case-by-case basis as we cannot comment on the status of other channels. Guys, do you understand what this means? Do you understand what this means? This means that YouTube is now editorializing. They are no longer just a publisher for content. They are now deciding what is allowed and what is not allowed from a basic standard. Like, this is not even like, hey, you're violating terms of service or you're uploading illegal content. This is basically like, hey, we're actually deciding that your content's not worthy. Now, here's the legal loophole. The legal loophole is that they're not technically taking your content away. They're not technically taking it away. They're actually leaving it up on the platform, and then they're monetizing it themselves. They're running ads on your demonetized content, and they're keeping all the money. Do you realize how fucked this is getting now? Do you realize this? This is what they're doing. This is how they're going to try to claim, well, our Section 230 rights should stay because we're not taking down the content. We're just demonetizing it. That's what they're trying to say. Now, in my opinion, I think they kind of open themselves up because, well, if you demonetize a creator and say that it's not worthy of your monetization standards, but then you're running ads on the video and taking all the money, well, that seems kind of odd, right? That seems kind of weird. Now, again, I have my conspiracies about this, which we'll talk about in a second, but let's continue. So I must reiterate that your channel has already undergone a manual review by a specialist. Notice how they don't claim that it's a human. Again, it's all about protecting yourself legally. They don't claim that it was reviewed by a specialist human. They just claim that it was manually reviewed by a specialist. That's all they're claiming. At this stage, we have exhausted the official internal escalation paths for this specific appeal. I understand this feels inconsistent compared to stories you may see online, but we must follow the protocol established for our official support channels. Since your channel was suspended from the YouTube Partner Program before the 17th of the month, your previous month's revenue will not be injected. If your channel suspension is successfully appealed and your channel is remonetized before the end of next month, this month and next month's earnings are injected in the third month following the suspension. If your channel does not successfully appeal before the 16th of the next month's earnings are not injected. And then the best part, we truly value the time you spent on YouTube. Yeah, 10 years, guys. They value 10 years of your dedication to the platform by taking away your livelihood completely. That's really good. If this is you guys valuing me, I don't want your value. I don't want your value. While I cannot offer a different outcome for this review, I hope this provides the clarity that you need to decide your next steps for your channel and your community. Wow. Okay. So anyway, so clearly what that means is that they're not going to pay him. They're not going to pay him the money that he earned during his monetization, and they're going to withhold it. And then when they eventually deny his appeal, which they're going to, then they're going to keep all the money. That's what they're going to do, right? So here's what I really think is happening, okay? And this is my own conspiracy. I think there's a couple of things happening here because I noticed some things, right? Number one, this is honestly just about them saving as much money as possible. I really believe that. Here's the reason why, right? We all know that YouTube Red subscription has gone up in price, which clearly means they need money, right? They raised the YouTube Red subscriptions, okay? And they also started adding extremely long ads. I think like 3-minute non-skippable ads every now and then to some videos. And the reason they do that is because they want to encourage you to subscribe to YouTube Red. That's why they do that. And if you don't subscribe, well, at least they got you for the 3-minute ad and they make money there anyway. That's number one. I think it's all about money. Number two, I feel like they're trying to do, and I said this on Griffcast. Have you guys ever read the stories about these restaurants that would charge you false tax? Like, let's say the tax is supposed to be, I don't know, $10 or something. I don't know. Something like that. They'll charge you false tax or whatever. Or like you'll see like if you buy a product and they charge you false tax, it's supposed to be $10 and they actually charge you, I don't know, 15. They do that to multiple customers. Think about all the customers that never caught it versus the one customer that did. Right? I kind of feel like YouTube's applying the same strategy. They're mass demonetizing people to keep an ungodly amount of money. And even if, let's say, 5% out of those 100% of people demonetized end up getting their monetization back because they made a big enough stink, it went viral on Twitter, whatever. If they do that, they still get to keep 95%. Right? So think about, for every one creator that gets their monetization back, there's like 1,000 people that don't. And all the money those channels earned now get to be kept by YouTube. So they don't really give a fuck about giving the money back to the 5% that, you know, make a big enough stink online, or maybe they're a big enough creator, right? Maybe they have some certain levels of protections or whatever the case may be. They're you know, they don't care about that. They don't care about that. They get to keep everything else. That's my mindset on this. Also, I noticed something. I noticed that if you guys really look, it seems like a lot of people that are in the same spheres are getting demonetized, which is interesting, right? If this is truly a mistake, which I don't believe it to be, but if it is, think about this. A lot of people that are getting demonetized are people that are in the same spheres. A lot of the names of people that I'm seeing getting demonetized are people that go on other people's channels quite often and constantly collaborate on live streams and everything like that. Everybody knows on a live stream, there's not much going on in the sense of visual differentiation. Like everybody's in their own little boxes and stuff like that, right? So I think what's happening here, if this is truly a mistake, it's in my conspiracy that perhaps the YouTube AI is looking at all these creators that are collaborating amongst each other in the same circles, and they're viewing it as mass-produced content. They're viewing it as the same content on multiple channels being mass-produced. You get what I'm saying? That's what I see anyway. Because I'm noticing that a lot of the people that are getting hit are people that collaborate often with each other. So again, that's my conspiracy. Can't prove it. But if we're really going to believe that this is somehow a mistake, then I got to be real with you. It just seems like that's kind of the way that it's going. You know? So I don't know, man. This situation, like I said, Cinevere got demonetized. Hopefully she gets it back. But she is one amongst others that it's just insane. And look, this is really what it's about, right? So Geeky Sparkle says, while demonetization is happening right and left, this stuff is rolling out. What is this stuff? Well, apparently, Terry Crews is going to host a YouTube series exploring Cadillac F1 team and racing culture. Wow. Because that's what people want. That's what people want, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. You want to watch Terry Crews from Hollywood do some stupid shit like this on YouTube. Clearly. I think that ultimately this is going to be the end of YouTube in the sense of how it was before. We kind of all saw this coming for a long time. They are now viewing highly efficient content to be inauthentic content, and that's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. If you guys think about it, if you guys work very hard to be very efficient at your schedule, very efficient in your editing, creating a template that allows you to be consistent across all your videos, and making it efficient so that your editing time goes less and less and less so you can have more free time for yourself. Imagine the more you become efficient, the more fucked you're going to be from YouTube. Imagine that. Imagine that, boys. Imagine working on your art, getting all these graphics and shit, only for YouTube to say, well, you're using that too often in too many videos, so you're inauthentic and we're demonetizing you. What the fuck is this, boy? Like, what is this? So, in any case, it's hit a lot of people that I personally know. Some like even Drunk 3PO. Brother, think about this. They demonetized Drunk 3PO for inauthentic content. That man is as authentic as they come. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's because what's happening is that he mostly live streams. So there's not much variation in the content. It's just him talking and looking at topics and talking about certain things. But according to YouTube, that's not allowed anymore. Right? None of that's allowed anymore. Now, the reason why I believe this to not be truly what's supposed to happen is because a lot of the people that I've seen appeal, the bigger they are, the more likely they get their monetization back. And some people are getting their monetization back without even appealing. So clearly this is not supposed to be happening, but YouTube's going to be like, oh, well, if we don't say anything, we get to keep 95% of the money. So don't say nothing. You know, keep it quiet. You know what I mean? Keep it quiet. That's what they're going to try to do. You know? So anyway, I think that this platform is being ran by one of the worst AIs that I've ever seen. YouTube's AI, 5-10 years ago was infinitely better than YouTube's AI today, which I don't know how that's possible considering the technology advancements that we've had in AI, but apparently it's possible. Apparently it's been going down the drain for probably like a year and a half, 2 years now. It's fucking insane. This is what they plan to do. This is what they want to do. And if they get caught bad enough, then they'll be like, whoopsie daisy, give you your monetization, and then you'll be about your day. That's essentially what it is. So, shout out to the creators that are getting demonetized. I retweeted Cinevere's post. Hopefully she gets the attention from Team YouTube. As I see these things, I'm retweeting them, but it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. So Raza says Kick has a better dono split. By the way, I was checking for Cindy. Yeah, but the thing is, you would have to have your entire audience move over there, and the chances of that happening has been provably false. Like it's very, very, it's not going to happen the way that you would like it to, right? Like when I was temporarily banned on YouTube, only about 10% of my audience moved over to Rumble. Only about 10%. Now we still managed to get our tiers, and the support was there for the most part. It was hard, but the support was there and everything. Don't get me wrong, but you could clearly see it was like barely hanging on. It was barely hanging on. The truth is that most people are just too lazy to move over. That's really what it is. And YouTube is the prime platform. As much as people want to hate on it, they want to talk shit on it. At the end of the day, the viewership is at its maximum on YouTube. Like you're going to reach your biggest audience on YouTube. Unless you're trying to join the streamer culture, then you would go to Twitch or Kick for that. But if you're not trying to join streamer culture, like your fucking Hassans and all that, if you're not trying to join that, or your iShow speeds, then you would go to YouTube. So that's basically what it is, man. That's basically what it is. So in any case, all I could say is just keep an eye, right? Keep an eye out. For the people that you watch, again, not just me. Keep an eye out, and pay attention to Twitter pages, community posts, things like that. Because when things go down, that's where usually you get updated. And the amount of people, it was ungodly. The amount of people that really thought that I took a week break and didn't say anything was crazy. It was crazy. I got banned for a week, and then I came back, and they were like, hey, where'd you go? Did you take a vacation? I was wondering where you were. Crazy, bro. And that's got to be the worst feeling for a creator. To know that no matter what, you can't even inform your entire audience that something happened. You can't even do it. YouTube ensures that it cannot happen. So, in any case, that's basically it for the YouTube story. It's fucking stupid, but honestly, I cannot pretend to be surprised because it's YouTube, right? At the end of the day. Great.